Hi, my name is Madeline Martin, and I am a professional integrated success coach within transformative learning at the University of Kentucky. Today I'd like to tell you about our method of choice for making sure that you find the support you need here at UK. We call it the 3-to-1 support model, and it is our guide for determining what kind of resources a student may need or benefit from. I want to start by asking you to picture a 3-legged stool. If we remove one of those legs, what happens to the stool? It falls over. When something is built on 3 pillars, it cannot function well unless all 3 areas are supported and somewhat even. The same premise can be applied to a student's level of success. Now let's be honest, there are way too many campus resources to keep track of, and sometimes it can be hard to know where to start. Our objective today is to break down campus resources in a way that feels more manageable and gives you an idea of how to ask yourself if your stool is standing properly. The 3 legs in the 3-to-1 support stool stands for academic, social-emotional, and access to opportunity. Each of these areas are an incredibly important piece to each student's success in college. Students often try to put together a support plan when they are stressed out and in difficult situations, but being proactive about developing your 3-to-1 support plan means you'll be ready when the most challenging moments arise. Also, using resources consistently is a great way to prevent unnecessary challenges in the first place. To look more at what resources and tools make up each of these areas, let's start with academic supports. As you probably guessed, academic supports focus on academic achievement and are made up of programs or services that assist students with understanding courses or how to succeed in the classroom. Off the top of your head, how many academic resources at UK can you name that you have used or heard about? Typically, we have students mention tutoring centers on campus, integrated success coaching, or support from faculty or advisors. These are what we like to call formal supports. Others that you may not have thought about can include supplemental instruction, presentation U, and the study. These resources are all offered within transformative learning, but there are plenty of resources available within different programs that may be geared for your major specifically. So it can vary from student to student. Informal supports are also important to consider, and these can include your classmates, professor office hours, or study groups that you form yourself. Before we move on, let's check in. As we think about academic supports, how well do you think the academic resources that you choose to use are meeting your needs on a scale of 1 to 10? Your answer might determine whether your area of support needs to be reevaluated or added to. Our next important area of support are social-emotional supports. These focus on providing social connectedness and emotional well-being. What supports can you think of that fit into this category? Some of these can include behavioral health, tracks, student organizations and activities, Center for Support and Intervention, campus recreation and wellness, the counseling center, campus housing, disability resource center, power, and many more. When we think of supports for our social and emotional well-being, we want to recognize that relationships with others, hobbies, recreation and fitness, and finding ways to be involved on campus all contribute to our sense of belonging here at UK. To figure out more about where you might like to invest your time, a good place to start can be meeting with an involvement advisor with student organizations and activities, or an integrated success coach. Again, before we move on, when you think about the social-emotional supports that you currently utilize, on a scale of 1 to 10, how well do you think your social-emotional supports are meeting your needs? Your answer might help you determine whether this area of support needs to be reevaluated or added to. Our third area of support is access to opportunities. This area focuses on how you are connecting to opportunities both now and in the future. As we think about everything you will learn while you're in college, we want to think about the kind of skills that will set you up for success as you earn that degree. Developing yourself professionally can assist you when you get your first job and can also make a big difference in the here and now. Thinking about our access to opportunity can include finding the campus resources that will help with locating employment or work-study opportunities, filling out the FAFSA, and overall planning for your future. Resources on campus can include the Career Center, workshops, employment fairs, internships, the Office of Undergraduate Research, and Big Blue Pantry. However, it can also be really helpful to think about your off-campus resources here. Those can include virtual spaces such as Indeed, Handshake, or the networking site of your choice. Before we wrap up, when you think about the supports that you currently utilize for access to opportunity, on a scale of 1 to 10, how well do you think your supports are meeting your needs? Your answer might determine whether this area of support needs to be reevaluated or added to. The last piece of the 3-to-1 support model that I want to talk to you about today is the pay it forward opportunity. Now that you know more about how to visualize the supports available to you, I encourage you to think about how you might become a support in another student's 3-to-1 in the future. Using this model might allow you to navigate your experience in an easier way, so how might you be able to assist future students that experience similar difficulties? I want to leave you with some questions that may be helpful to consider when you sit down to determine what kind of resources should go in your 3 areas of support for academic, social-emotional, and access to opportunity. Number 1, what has worked and what has not worked for you in the past? Number 2, how do you think your support needs will change moving forward as your courses or responsibilities may get more difficult to manage? Number 3, what do you think you need right now to be successful? 4, who can you reach out to for assistance if you're not sure what resources you need at the moment? And 5, what can you do to support someone else? The reality of the 3-to-1 support model is that many students can be hesitant to explore these resources we've talked about, or ask what is available to them. Sometimes this is because they want to try things out on their own. There's nothing wrong with that thought, but one thing we see consistently as coaches is that many students come to us wishing they had tried some of these resources earlier. If you want to know more about the kinds of resources available to UK students, feel free to check out our Transformative Learning website or meet with an integrated success coach to see how you might be able to build up your 3-to-1 supports.